In our Orthodox vocabulary, you might sometimes hear the word economia. It is probably one of the most misused and abused terms. I will give the quick definition of economia. It is simply a dispensation. But this definition is not enough and can cause misunderstandings and maybe even a problem. So I will give the fuller version. Economia means that we know and fully understand what the prescribed rules, thoughts, or traditions in any particular situation are, but because of some prevailing circumstance beyond reasonable control, and having considered reasonable alternatives, dispensation may be granted for this one moment only, and we will return to proper procedure the next time with the understanding that this does not set any precedents for the future. So I will give two examples to illustrate. Once, when I was a new priest visiting a senior priest, there was to be a liturgy in the morning. The person who was to buy the altar wine said they forgot. The stores were already closed and not open on Sunday. When the senior priest heard this news, he decided to cancel the liturgy. Thankfully, the few expected could easily be notified. That was when the question came, can we use some grape juice and maybe give it a little vodka? The senior priest gave a pause. Then, with wide eyes, he sternly but gently said, no. Then they asked about table wine. The answer was, if it would fit the church definition, that would be acceptable. But there wasn't any table wine available either. I, as junior, stayed silent. My silence was in deference to my elder. A second illustration is more of a kitchen dilemma. They were preparing koliva for a panahida service. When it was time to decorate it, there were only gold dragis. Someone complained and said that only silver could be used. Well, if you really understand this situation, then it doesn't matter which of the two colors. Just please don't use a fluorescent color. And really, it doesn't need to be decorated in any particular way. That is left to the individual or maybe local custom. This situation doesn't need economia or involvement of the clergy. The point I am trying to make in these two stories is one needs to be careful and exercise good judgment. If the matter is truly small, it could be handled at home. If it isn't too serious of an issue, then perhaps it is a question for the deacon. If it becomes more than that, then it is up to the priest in charge. And a good priest knows when or if a bishop might need to be consulted. There is a hierarchy to be respected with consideration. Basically, it is just good common sense, and if there is a lingering doubt or question, then it's okay to ask. But things can come up, even unexpectedly, and that is where, if used properly, economia might be all right. This is never about a person's whim or an individual's preferences. As one progresses in orthodoxy, there are such things as etiquette, or you might say a universal Orthodox culture that one picks up. Some might say you develop an Orthodox spirit. At the same time, newcomers or guests might have a question, and generally, people are happy to explain. If I can make a joke, just don't ask Baba or Yaya. They know how things go, all right, and they might just keep you there for more than a complete lesson than expected. So I can sum it all up for you in three easy thoughts: common sense, discretion, and hierarchy.